Brian, while we're eating lunch, I thought I would, jeez, I figured I'd try to ask you a couple questions to dispel a couple of rumors.
Sure.
I know a lot of people catch fish in the fall. They're all colored up, and we've had comments saying, "Oh, are those spawners?" Or,
Yeah.
you know, and we know they don't spawn to the spring. So what is that all about?
Yeah. So what happens typically with diploid rainbows, is particularly the males, they'll start to color up, get the red bar down the side of their flanks, start to get the hook nose, and they'll start doing that in late September, October, all through November. And then they'll coast through the winter months because they do that because they're still actively feeding in the fall, so they've got the energy to put towards development of their milt, or if it was a female, to eggs. But what you got to remember is that if you catch a great big male that's maturing and it's the end of October, it's still 5.5 months before it's going to spawn. And so it's a prime fish. That's just Mother Nature. They're getting ready while they can, while the water's still warm enough for them to develop.
Oh, good. So basically, they're colored, but they're
Yeah.
in prime condition.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they don't fight like a big spawner.
Yeah.
They're in prime
Yeah.
condition.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other one that, you know, a lot of people talk about is fall turnover. They say the lake's turning over. Don't go fish there. What's that about?
Well, certainly lakes turn over twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. Well, it seems to be a lot of misunderstanding amongst anglers about fall turnover. So the way fall turnover works is when the water temperature is uniform from top to bottom, it'll mix. And water is most dense when it's 4 degrees centigrade or 39 degrees Fahrenheit. So when the water is that temperature from top to bottom, the surface waters will sink to the bottom, and then you add the wind and the lake will mix. But what a lot of anglers think come mid-September, well, lake's cooling down, they got to turn over. Well, today's the end of September, and the lake we're on right now is still 53 degrees, or about 11.5 degrees centigrade. So it's still got to drop a huge amount before the water's even going to come close to turning over.
Right.
So turnover doesn't happen as soon as we hit September 15th. Lots of times it's not occurring until mid to late October, and in some some lower elevation lakes, it might not be until November. So it's all air temperature driven, and a lot to do with how much wind there is. But the lake does have to cool down substantially before it's going to turn over.
Okay, good. And you probably best get local knowledge before you go out and fish,
Yeah.
just like in the spring.
Exactly.
Right? They turn over
When
at
a
different
lake-
times.
You'll know when you're on a lake that's turning over
Exactly.
because the water's going to be turbid, whether it's in spring turnover or fall turnover, and the fishing's not going to be very good at all.
Exactly. Good. Thanks, Bri.
All right, time for cheesies.
Time for cheesy.